Thank you for joining us on Culture Conversations today. Now, there is no discussing the African culture without discussing our diverse and rich traditions, and also the age-long demonization of said indigenous traditions. As we move to reposition Africa at the top of the global map, it is imperative we begin to stock up on our knowledge of who we really are. And here to help us do that through his vast knowledge of the Yoruba culture and its core tradition, Ifa, is a young and popular historian. Tayo was born and raised in Ajegunle, Lagos, and later in Inisa, Osun State. He has a BSc in Dramatic Arts from Obafemi Awolowo University. Currently, he's undergoing postgraduate studies in Yoruba literature in University of Ibadan, and also shooting a documentary about Ibeji, twins, with Ademola Adeniran, the official photographer of the governor of Lagos State. He is the owner of Washiri, an 8-month-old culture promotion platform with over 200,000 followers that is committed to the retelling of African stories with emphasis on the Yoruba as a people, as a culture, and as a scientific belief system. And he's also the recipient of the Afrimact Cultural Advocates Awards. Today, Tayo, I am so excited to have you.
Thank you.
There is a widespread curiosity going on now. You know, non-Africans and even Africans are now very eager to know about our roots.
Yeah.
What would you say caused this, made this happen? What's the breaking point where everybody now is like, I want to know about Africa, I want to know about my roots, because that's what's going on.
Frankly, I think it's because our society has changed a lot, quite a lot from what we grew up with. And when I started doing this, I wasn't expected to be so accepted or so quickly, sincerely. I thought I was just going to be connecting with those who can understand what I'm saying. I didn't expect a lot of people to find it sense-making. So I was quite very surprised too when I saw that, oh, people are loving these things. You know, I'm talking about things people should be running away from, things people usually run away from. And they are loving it, and they are enjoying it, and they're even asking for more. So I think the reason for that is because it's our time now. We're waking up, really. We're really waking up. And now these pieces of information are now widely available. The social media is now replete with a lot of African contents, you know, and people are beginning to ask questions. If you even look at our political space, you see that the youth have even risen, you know. There's consciousness going on around now. So I think that's just the reason for it.
The breaking point is, so we're tired of what the white man has said and what the white man has
We want to
offer.
go for the truth for our own self, you know. We want to understand these things,
Not what they said
not
about
just
us.
what, because it just takes patience to, realize that these things are not as dark. Now, that's even if they are dark at all. And the darkness, whatever darkness we can find in it is as a result of the darkness of man, not the actual knowledge you're talking about.
I always say every principle is neutral.
It's neutral.
It's the character of the person engaging in it
that makes it bad or good.
Yeah, nice. So I always say this, that, you know, a nation rises and falls on its identity. What would you say is the African identity? Like when you say I'm an African, what is the identity of an African?
It starts from you being able to speak your language.
That I can't speak my language.
It starts from, you know, because you should be, and if you don't know how to, maybe for reasons of your birth and all that, you should make conscious efforts to want to actually understand. That's where identity starts from. You can't identify yourself as a people of whom you know nothing. You understand? So you want to actually be able to speak your language. It starts from knowing the meaning of your own name. So many people bear names today that they don't know the meaning, and they think these names, I know the meaning is lost and because they're too ancient, and it's not like that. You understand? They are very available. So you should know why you are being named the way you're named. In Yoruba society, for instance, in the Yoruba traditional society, we have a unique way of giving names. A person has a biso, what you call a biso, the one I give to you upon giving you birth. And then there is the one you bring from heaven, a mutu, depending on how you were born. Are you born a twin? Or did you come with your placenta around your neck? All these kind of things. You know, you have names that are given for children like that. And then we have Oriki. That one is your praise name. You know, we have to give you that. Although there are some Yorubas that don't do it, but majority of all Yoruba ethnic groups give Oriki. That's just the name. The Oriki has a poem attached to it that can use to trace you to your roots. So even when a woman marries in those days, she doesn't change her name as we have it today. And this is not unique to the Yoruba Yoruba, it's a general thing in Africa. Women don't adopt the names of their husbands upon marriage. They actually, because your name is supposed to be what we use to link you to your root. So wherever you go, when I hear your name, okay, you are Temitayo, Ajadi, Ajadi Ogbo. Then from there, I know, okay, this is where you're from. This is your father. And that is the African sense of identity. So imagine, I mean, we've lost all that in just a woman now, I mean, assuming her husband's name upon marriage. So she can't mention her name anywhere and they will trace that to her father. Because that link has been lost.
That's powerful. So Rikis have always been very fascinating for me.
Definitely.
And I found that it was like a whole poem. And I know when people are, when they're giving you, when they're reciting it, and it makes your head swell like this.
Exactly.
I mean, Africa is
Oriki is so beautiful that it's not just, everything has Oriki in Yoruba land. Yeah, everything has Oriki. Towns have Orikis. Human beings have, animals have Oriki. Understand? Oriki is,
like
you know.
Jago Jago, where I know the name of, I know the name
that this tree bears. It can't harm me because I know its name. You know, things like that.
Beautiful to go African. Okay, so let me poke the bear a bit. The Oni of Ife recently in a conversation stated that all women are witches. I personally agree because I understand what he's saying. So I understand. The audience might not understand. And you being a Yoruba historian and everything, please, can you break it down for us?
The problem with those who misunderstand it is with the kind of, the way we have now made the word Aje so diabolic. You know, we've darkened the meaning of that word in our minds. And so it's a common saying in Yoruba land. When we say Gbogbo Birin Laje, all women are witches. And Aje as a word is, we use witch, the word witch for it, simply because we don't have, there's nothing the European people have that can be, that have so much similarities with what we have as in Aje. Aje and witches are not the same things actually. Because the word Aje doesn't mean witch. It's Je, the word Je in Yoruba language means to allow something to happen. Ejekin lole, allow me go home, let me go home. Oruko wo lo nje? What name do you answer to? So that is the meaning of that Je. So Aje is he who has the power to let something be.
Of command.
The one who has the powers that be, you know, the one who could.
And it's naturally women.
And that is what women do, starting from the birth of everybody in this world. So they actually have the power to make things happen. That is an Aje. That is the meaning of that word. It means just to be powerful. The powerful women. And that's why they are called Iya. Understand? Awon Iyami, Oshoronga, things like that. So, do we have wicked Aje people? Do we have bad people? Yes. And do we have good ones? Yes. So the problem is not with the Aje. Like you said earlier, these things are neutral. So it depends on how good you are or how bad you are. Understand? If you're good, you're going to use it for good. And if you're bad, Aje simply means to be powerful. And when we say all women are witches, that's the sense in which he's using the word.
I think that, you know, with the feminism movement and we women coming to recover our power and understand who we are, I think that's something very powerful knowledge to have as women, that we are powerful, not just biologically to give birth, but also spiritually we're very powerful.
Definitely.
I think women are born with arcane and metaphysical powers.
Even in the traditional, in the pre-colonial Yoruba society, the women were in charge of the economy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in the palace.
Are you hearing German?
in the palace now, for instance, you know, no meeting, no decision can be made without the accent of the Yaloja.
Sorry to cut you. I even hear that in crowning a king like the Oni, there's a stage where
in fact, the bird on the crown signifies the mothers. You know, the kings make expressions like, without the mothers, I cannot rule. You understand? Everything, you know, takes you back to the roots, because they are the roots.
And women are honored at the roots in our African
they are always,
culture.
you understand what I'm saying now? So, Iyalode, Iyaloja, these were the finance ministers.
Wow.
You know, they control the economy. Wow. They attended all the meetings that happened in the palace.
You blow my brain, and I will forget the next question. So traditionalists often hammer on the fact that, and you've also said that in previous conversations we've had, that Ifa, or the African culture generally, goes beyond religion.
Definitely.
It has philosophy, literature, math,
poetry, music,
mathematics, permutations, poetry, music. So, like, break it down for us. Like, you know, what does
it is Ifa? What we call Ifa? It's a corpus. It's a compendium of a body of knowledge. What a people know. And what a people know is not all religion. Religion is just one of the things people engage in. There are so many other things that we do, so many other things that we know about. If I include knowledge of medicine, for instance, because we have our Onishegun, who are a branch of the diviners. Not really, we have a Babalawo, who is like, you know, the professor, the all in all, he understands everything. And then all the Onishegun, Ilewi Omo, all these people, you know, the Ilewi Omos, for instance, are the ones who deal with children and pregnant mothers, the pediatricians, you know. And they always have to consult Ifa to seek knowledge. So do you call that religion? A lot of the things we do, how is Ogun appeased, for instance? You know, you use palm oil and iron. Scientifically, how do you lubricate, how do you preserve iron? You have to lubricate it with oil. Yeah. So these people understood some scientific principles, and that is, so it is a disservice to just dismiss everything as religion.
Okay.
You understand?
So there's a lot of disdain with, you know, the culture. People mock it, people spit at it, and then there's a group of people who also are excited about it and everything. How people who are excited and then bastardize it, you know. So what's your advice to people who look at it, who look down on it, and people who are taking it and using it for,
all right. First of all, I'll tell people to not even be religious tolerant. You know, have mutual respect for religion, because what you tolerate is something not good enough. You know, something, you know, it's not good enough, so you're just tolerating it now. So even that is derogatory, even that is demeaning. So don't tolerate anybody. You have to have mutual respect for the religion. And when we start from there, we notice that our problems have reduced. And those who are using it for, who have access to some knowledge, and then they're using it for bad reasons and those kind of things, you should just stop doing it. You don't have control over that. Yeah. People will always, you know, abuse. You know, there's going to be exactly so.
So your Washiri platform now, final question. Your Washiri platform, as you said, you were shocked when you saw a melting point of people from different religions being interested. Do you ever see a point where all religions will come together and have a common ground?
If we have so many people doing what I'm doing now, and I pray that we get to that level. You know, it's my joy to see a lot of people doing this kind of thing. If that happens, then definitely we are going to arrive.
And I can't wait, because I think that's when we will now reach that point where Africa wants to be on the global map. Thank you so much, Tayo. As in, there's so much to say, but thank you so much for your wealth of knowledge. Thank you for what you're doing. I'm super excited. So after this break, we will be joining John and Helen to wrap up the show. Stay tuned.